For me, game design is about evoking a feeling. And typically the feeling I want to evoke is the one that I felt when I was first introduced to gaming. And it was just the newest, greatest thing to me. When I was a kid, 30 years ago, one of my favorite gaming products was, in fact, TSR's World of Greyhawk fantasy campaign setting. And I loved opening up this box set and looking at the maps and going through the books that were the guide to it. And the feeling that I got going through that book and reading it and using it in my games is the feeling that I want to evoke in people who buy the Swords of Coast fantasy campaign setting and use it as the setting for their own role-playing games. And the game we were playing back in those days was Dungeons & Dragons, and that sort of is almost used as a generic term for role-playing games in general. But the Coast Fantasy campaign setting is designed so that it is rules-free. It is a universal shared world fantasy campaign setting with an emphasis on swords and sorcery, so it can be used with any sort of role-playing game rules. So if you're playing Dungeons & Dragons, if you're using some variant on D20, if you're playing Pathfinder, any of those are going to plug in perfectly into what we're doing with the fantasy campaign setting and help you to be able to play games that are colorful and detailed and evoke the feeling that I think you should have when you're playing a role-playing game.